Dr. Vikram Singh, I want to begin by asking you. Sextortion cases have been reported aplenty, especially in today's day and age. What do you make of the conversion angle? Forcing victims to convert to Islam, according to the complainant, forcing at least one to get circumcised unless he paid up.
Very well articulated, Gauravji. There is the sextortion, but this is absolutely takes the cake for being a very nefarious, well-orchestrated plan, sextortion with multiple dimensions of conversion, extortion, circumcision. Now, obviously, the motive is not only just money, but also a form of a jihad. I dare say, because I have experience, had it just been extortion for the sake of money, the dimension of circumcision going to the mosque and conversion would not have been there. But the fact that the conversion is there, therefore, my advice to each and every person is don't fall into the trap of social media honey trap, the horror of dating apps. I have yet to come across a single Indian dating app which has not had the notoriety of being a booby trap for sextortion. It may be a loud statement, but this is what I've come across. I had a university where I deal with youngsters. I deal with those who have fallen prey, but out of shame, they did not report to the police. But in case where this happens, I would strongly recommend the invoking of two provisions: NSA, Makoka, and also the UP Gangsters Act, where another sextortion racket was reported from Kanpur.
Interesting you should say that. You're saying that there is a sinister aspect that must be investigated and strong provisions of law applied. Syed Asad Abbas, what do you make of it? Yasin, Abdul and Sharan Prakash. So far, these are the three accused who've been arrested, but this main accused, according to the Bengaluru police, Meher, who went by the name Neha on social media platform Telegram, she's apparently still absconding. Doesn't this conversion angle add a very different dimension to this investigation?
Gaurav Saab, let me disagree with Janab Vikram Singh Sahib, who I have great respect for. The fact of the matter, let us agree here on one front. Undoubtedly, this is a sextortion case. This is a case which has been done for money. This is crime for money. Also, as a matter of fact, my real question is, before that, I unequivocally, unconditionally condemn such act. All those acts where they bring in the religion factor, circumcision factor, or the conversion factor. Now, my question to Vikram Singh Saab is, respected sir, if conversion is the case, don't you think it's a case for money, sir? Otherwise, why would a Sharan Prakash want victims to people to convert, sir? Why would a Sharan Prakash do that? They have only used the religion for conversion, circumcision, because they know a man true to the religion will not convert. This is nothing but a honey trap case, a extortion for money case, a sextortion case, and reading into the lines, they are using this conversion tactic, religion, only to make money. Okay. They must be dealt with iron hands. They must be booked under the strict provisions of the Indian Penal Code.
Give me a moment before I bring in Jiten Jain, since you've made a comment about Dr. Vikram Singh's statement. Sir, would you want to respond immediately?
Obviously, with the greatest of respect, Mr. Abbas, yes, you have a very pertinent point. But with this, I would be very naive and trusting if I were to take the whole thing from the face value. Are the names real? I have to go deep into that. The name you mentioned was Sharan. That has to be investigated. Even if it is Sharan and it happens to be a non-Muslim, the gang of criminals can have members of many communities, and they are equal partners in sharing the booty. Therefore, I would say what is more important is the circumcision, going to the mosque and conversion. That, of course, is the lowest common denominator, which should crack the case, and that seems to be the major motive power.
Okay, as of now, of course, I must add from information that India Today's reporters have been able to glean, this is a complaint that's been made by one of the complainants. The police are still in the process of verification. Jiten Jain, as a cybersecurity analyst, you've dealt with online extortion cases, sextortion cases several times in the past, but sextortion that comes with an alleged conversion angle, and the complainant saying that he was threatened, he was told you either pay up or we will have you circumcised. That adds altogether a new twist to the tale, sir.
Look, Gaurav, I mean, we have had hundreds of cases in the last 2-3 years where, a gang of small gangs of 4 or 5 people, including women and men, have been operating where they've been, making video calls on WhatsApp and Telegram, and then filming the victims and sexual acts or, the naked acts, and then later blackmailing them. by threatening to reveal their pictures to the family friends. I mean, that was more of an online sextortion racket. But this here, is something very different because it's not, a digital sextortion racket. It is more of a physical racket where somebody was invited to somebody's home, was filmed in the presence of multiple people, and then later threatened. Now, threats, one is to obviously pay money. Second is to then convert and, circumcise and all those things. But let me tell you, and if it is only a sextortion racket, then 4 or 5 people may have been involved. But if it is a conversion racket, as somebody is claiming, I don't know what the facts are, then I don't think she can be the mastermind. There would be someone else who is pulling the strings. I mean, 3, 4 people cannot, carry out this racket unless and until, I mean, some local religious figures have to be involved.
Interesting,
But
you
in my
should say
opinion,
that.
I think
Yes.
in the previous past, we have seen that mostly, these fanatic groups have used digital means to radicalize people, convert them. I mean, move towards taking radical means, sometimes for jihad and all those things. But we have not seen sextortion being used for conversion and then whatnot. But if it is the case, then it is a worrisome sign. Should be thoroughly investigated.
This
If it is false,
indeed
then it
needs
should
to
be
be
reported. But
thoroughly
if it is true,
investigated.
then we have to find out who the string pullers are.
Oh,
The king has
absolutely.
gone.
Dr.
Can I
Vikram Singh,
just
before I bring in Syed Abbas, Dr. Vikram Singh, money, according to initial investigations, was actually paid online. In some instances through Paytm, in other instances through phone pay. Brazen operations, leaving a very clear money trail. It seems neither the suspect Meher nor the accused, whether it's Yasin, Abdul or Sharan, had any fear of being caught, because this is an open and shut case as far as money trail is concerned, sir.
Very true, Mr. Gaurav. The complacency which all the accused felt for themselves that they will go undetected. Well, of course, they were living in a fool's paradise. But the fact that they did take money, they take stock money and use Paytm and other UPI platforms to transfer money, the money and the financial trail are so obvious and incriminating that I think there is no escape route for all 3 of them. It's only a matter of time before the police close in on Meher and the 3, and also the kingpin, as Mr. Jain has very lucidly explained. These are the things that will go to explain how and what was the modus operandi and how they went about their extortion racket.
Okay, Syed Asad Abbas, more than 50 men are believed to have been trapped in the past year and a half. Money trail would actually help nab not just the accused, but if, as Jiten Jain points out, if there is a wider conspiracy or conversion was part of a bigger plan, that must be investigated, because money from one Paytm to the other, from one bank to the other, would ultimately have another beneficiary if this is a wider conversion racket.
Gaurav Saab, there were some interesting points made by Mr. Jain and Mr. Singh about a thorough investigation. Like Dr. Singh said that it could not be Sharan. We need to check what his real name is. We also need to check Abdul, Meher, Ekka, Neha's real names also. We need to know, is this in the guise? I totally see, Singh Saab has great experience being the former DGP. I truly see this as extortion for money and nothing else. By saying that we will circumcise you, we will convert you, this is only fear tactics, scare tactics. Because we all know circumcision is not just any other surgery. They're trying to fool people to get the money out in the garb of conversion to bring a wrong name. I'm sure no religion on this world will say honey trap somebody to convert, take money to convert, extort somebody to convert. Nowhere in the world I've come across any such case by doing wrong activities, criminal activities, and you're acting to convert. This is nothing but a open and shut case.
Criminal activity to convert has happened several times in the past, but this sextortion for conversion, if true, makes it very, very different, adds a different dimension to this. Jiten Jain, the victims actually fell in this trap themselves. They walked into it eyes wide shut. They met the model online, struck a conversation, went to her apartment willingly. But can a wider conspiracy actually be unraveled through a money trail since payments were made online?
No, we have seen like several examples of extortion. I mean, look at this example of loan apps we discussed previously. Thousands of victims were initially given loans, and giving loans and asking them horrendous rates of interest was just only a complete scam. It was a much bigger blackmailing scam, because those apps which were made, these people were tricked to install to obtain a lot were malwares,
Okay.
and they were then blackmailed using personal data. And later we found that most of the companies were run by these fake Chinese directors who has obtained some fake Aadhaar cards. But
Yes.
that was a different thing altogether. See,
Yes.
the common denominator here is that on use of social media, digital communications, digital payments to hide trails, ease the contacts, and using dating apps and all those things. So the
And
problem
this
here is
is
that I
where
think we have to crack
men
down.
and women have to be
Gaurav,
extremely
Gaurav, just 1
careful.
minute.
You're
Just one.
absolutely right.